Finally, someone understands what the players want! Good thing they threw it on the one-unit players can just grab a ticket. Warrior of Dawn Galuf's Trustmaster reward is his sword. Whoop-de-doo. His Super Trustmaster reward is constantly featured in my best Super Trustmaster reward videos, what with its high boosted defense, HP, and a high amount of fire and light resistance to boot. On to his active abilities. I bet everyone forgot Galuf had magic spells. Yes, he can now Chain of Chaos Wave Awaken. Whether or not he can contribute is another matter entirely. Foul War Tactics deal physical damage that scales off his attack stat, fills your team's limit burst gauges by a small amount, and chains of Graviton Cannon. And then we'll skip these blades. Bonds of Fortitude is in Trust, and the stat buffs exist. These two chain try to be better than that. The cover is a cover if you really don't have a better tank. Sworn Protection is a much better cover, but you can't rely on it forever. Dawn's Blaze imbues fire onto your team, and lowers the enemy's fire resistance by 120%. Dawn's Light is the same, but light. Blast to the Past enables Prayer to the Future, which can fill your team's limit burst gauges by a decent amount, and raise their fire and light resistance by 100%. Stronghold Advance gives Galuf a 75% general mitigation buff and a provoke. Passives. With his Trustmaster reward or Super Trustmaster reward equipped, he gets stats, and a counter, which throws on a small general mitigation buff. The man also gained tremendous killer buffs against beasts and plants, and I remember when that 10% physical evasion was impressive. The man has a lot of passives, most not too notable, but some, like up to 80% passive provoke, a guts buff, even more stats, and flat HP are definite standouts. His normal attack has been changed to Guardian Blade of Dawn, which deals damage, and then activates a provoke buff and a 30% general mitigation buff. At EX plus 2, he gets an instant limit burst. At EX plus 3, he gets 500 defense. Let's look at his limit burst. They didn't really buff it, but I actually forgot it had additional mitigation against beasts and plants, which is cool. I am definitely going to forget this the moment I leave the screen. Time to change forms. Warrior of Dawn Galuf has a true Brave Shift, which has no limitations whatsoever. It would be a crime to cover those muscles. Onto his active abilities. Sandstorm Fist deals earth damage that chains of Absolute Mirror of Equity, and fills your team's limit burst gauges by a decent amount of each use. Blessed Earth Crystal buffs his attack by 280%, his earth damage by 30%, his limit burst damage by 200%, buffs the damage modifier of his limit burst, and then you can't use that ability for another 10 turns. Training Body and Mind can only be used once, because that 10-turn cooldown was just too generous. It fills your team's limit burst gauges by an incredible amount, then buffs their limit burst gauge fill rate by 100%. Passives. With his Trustmaster reward or Super Trustmaster reward equipped, Galuf gains 1000 attack and a guts buff. The man also gains a tremendous boost to his limit burst damage, and a small limit burst regen as well. He prefers to carry 2 weapons in this form, even though his muscles can slay the mightiest of men already, and his normal attack has been changed to the Iron Fist of Dawn, which who cares, let's look at his muscles. At EX plus 3, his stat gain shifts to attack instead of defense. Let's look at his limit burst. It gives him a beast and plant killer buff, and then deals non-elemental damage. Let's rank Brave abilities. I suggest raising Sandstorm Fist to get more limit burst crystals, Stronghold Advance to strengthen his role as a tank, and lastly Shrink to protect the Warriors of Light for the attacks you won't use in this form. Time to make a damage rotation. On turn 1, activate his Brave Shift. Cast Blessed Earth Crystal, Training Body and Mind, and Sandstorm Fist. On turn 2, use his Limit Burst. On turn 3, triple cast Blessed Earth Crystal. On turn 4, use his Limit Burst. You're going to repeat the rotation from turn 3, filling his and your team's Limit Burst gauges while he throws himself at the enemy. So, EX2. At EX plus 2, he gets an instant Limit Burst. His base form's Limit Burst isn't very strong, unless he happens to be the best tank you've got, which... okay. Oh right, he also has niche mitigation. That could work, if you remember it. As for his second form, that's just damage, and given his low limit burst cost, I don't think you need it. And while he does have it in Trust, Galuf actually supplies more limit burst crystals by triple casting Sandstorm Fist. As for EX plus 3, that's stats. But you may as well do it just out of respect for his muscles. So how good is Warrior of Dawn Galuf? Well, his muscles are amazing, so sprite work is S tier. In terms of tanking, well, his base form hasn't really been improved, aside from more general mitigation. He can still serve as a tank, but obviously he won't always be the best. His damage output isn't as great as it could be either. For one, his limit burst doesn't deal elemental damage, and Galuf doesn't have a source of Earth Imbual for whatever reason. He also doesn't apply to Earth Imperil for that matter. Now, obviously there is a pretty simple solution, get someone else to do it, but this is just a Galuf review after all. Overall, Galuf's the old man that might need some help, but he's still a pretty capable unit even without it. Not only that, but with some niche support in Exvius, you might have this old man helping your team instead. Maybe. I kind of doubt it, given that Fire and Light have tremendous support units anyways. Oh my gosh, muscles. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, leave a like and subscribe. Comment below if you can awaken Warrior of Dawn Galuf. With the free fragments, many of you might be able to. So hurry up and take his shirt off.